the Summer Game Fest 2025, the dark ritual in which Jeff Keighley summons all of the gaming gods to shower us with teasers, trailers, and sequels. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks 10, brand new games announced at Summer Game Fest 2025. At number 10, it is Code Vein 2. Hey, did you need more anime vampires in your life? If the answer is yes, you're getting it. If the answer was no, you're still getting it. It's still coming, one way or the other. I guess it doesn't really matter what your answer is. Code Vein 2 is coming. So there's a new threat this time in the form of something called Lunar Rapacious. I don't know what the hell that is or means. I do know that it's somehow causing revenants, vampires, to go mad and become monsters called horrors. This time around, you're not a blank slate custom hero. Code Vein 2 brings us a protagonist, a bona fide protagonist called the Revenant Hunter. I don't really know to what extent if you're going to be able to customize at all. We haven't been told, so if you want to spend 45 minutes customizing the eye glow again, I don't know if you're going to be able to. We'll see, though. This character's arc is guided by another character called Lou, a girl with the ability to rewrite history. So you'll be traveling across timelines, fixing turning points in Revenant history, and, well, trying to set things right, I guess. So the world is ending again. It's more complex. Time is involved, but it's still anime vampire hunting Souls-like action. At number 9, it's Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. I guess Wu-Tang was just like, and they made a lot of games that sound like Wu-Tang Clan, like Wolong and Wu-Chan, and why isn't there a Wu-Tang? I guarantee that's how this happened. I promise you, somebody in the Wu-Tang Clan was like, there's no reason for us not to release a game if they're going to keep making games that sound like this. Anyway, Rise of the Deceiver is a fast-paced co-op action RPG. It is not a Souls-like. Again, it's fast, it's not based in parries. The emphasis is expression, teamwork, and of course, drip. It's not often I get to say the word drip with a straight face as Falcon the Game Bird. I don't know, I love Wu-Tang Clan. Who doesn't love Wu-Tang Clan? If you know the Wu-Tang Clan, you probably love the Wu-Tang. Why wouldn't you want to at least try it? I mean, not gonna lie, my expectations aren't automatically super high for this type of a game, but that's more categorical as opposed to what we're looking at. Like, this looks cool as hell. I think I'm pretty optimistic about this one. At number 8, Atomic Heart 2 got announced. Yup. Atomic Heart 2. I actually really like Atomic Heart. Some of the stuff that people think is cringe about it, I like in a kind of semi-ironic, but not really actually ironic way. It's a fun game. It's a little cringe in a weirdly charming way, at least to me. I'm happy they're doubling down on all of that nonsense. Obviously, Atomic Heart 2 is expanding on the stuff from the first. You got the cyborg glove stuff. You got weapons, melee, ranged, etc. I'm just psyched that they're making a sequel. I mean, that's basically the level of, like, things that you would hear in Atomic Heart. And that's why I enjoy it. And number 7, also from Mundfish, The Cube. Now, when you think of the Atomic Heart universe, you assume Atomic Heart and now Atomic Heart 2, but we're also getting The Cube, which is a multiplayer RPG shooter that takes place in the Atomic Heart universe. In The Cube, players embark on expeditions to explore the enigmatic structure, The Cube. A big cube, big levitating cube. You got rotating walls, shifting terrains, unpredictable combat scenarios. Basically, it's an MMORPG shooter with roguelite mechanics wrapped in a psychedelic Soviet fever dream. Mundfish owes me money for their marketing. And number 6 is Scott Pilgrim EX, which is, let's just be completely clear, a new Scott Pilgrim beat-em-up. The original Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game is one of my favorite beat-em-ups of all time, and the people who made it later went on to form Tribute, who is behind Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and they just absolutely killed that game. We've talked about the Marvel Cosmic Invasion game coming soon. They're behind that as well, but this is kind of like the main event for this. Can you tell I'm excited? Excited. It's not just that they're making a sequel to that game. It's that it's a lot of the original developers. It's Anime Noguchi coming back for the soundtrack. This time around, they're talking about it being like kind of open world, like River City Ransom style open world, which is not, I mean, open world in the sense of today, but it's a bunch of interconnected areas that apparently are going to be all open from the very start of the game. I don't know. I'm psyched. I'm so happy this is getting a new game from the original devs with Anna Meneguchi on it, with Brian Lee O'Malley working with them on it. Everything about this is fantastic to hear. At number 5, Lego Voyagers. I don't know if you're aware of Lego Builder's Journey, which is a little bit more contemplative of a Lego game. The developers behind that are making this. Kind of has the same style as Builder's Journey. Has an isometric perspective, but it's kind of It Takes Two also. Like, it looks like Builder's Journey, but you're two different Lego bricks. And It Takes Two in that respect. Like, you have to do the things that you would do in It Takes Two. That's basically what it looks like anyways. It doesn't look manic or mayhem oriented. It looks similarly kind of, cozy type game as Builder's Journey. This one's actually not far off in the future. The other ones we've talked about are at least a year away. This one apparently is coming this year, and it's coming to PlayStations, the Xboxes, the Nintendo Switches, and PC. And number 4 is Infinitesimals. Just when you thought the tiny protagonist in a big world trope had been fully exploited, Qubit Studios says, hold my beer. This is a third-person sci-fi action-adventure game where you're an alien that has crash-landed, not on Earth necessarily, but you're an insect-sized alien. You're the captain of a squadron of spacefaring, I don't know, dudes, I don't know. But you're tiny, you're on an alien world, or maybe you're on our world, I don't know, maybe it's a different time. I really don't know yet. It looks cool, though. Like, don't tell me this doesn't look cool. Obviously, the environment's the big thing here. What I like about this is that it looks kind of like it's using that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids aesthetic, just enough so that you think of it. Infinitesimals is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC next year. And number 3 is End of the Abyss. Just when you thought your nightmares were safe. Just when you thought the indie developers were going to finally leave you alone. You could be safe. Just when you thought the Little Nightmares developers were going to leave you alone. Just when you thought they couldn't have possibly any more projects on the horizon. They're a small company. They can't possibly do more, right? An offshoot of former Little Nightmares developers called Section 9 Interactive comes with End of the Abyss. Haha. It's a top-down sci-fi horror adventure game where you play as Cell, a young combat technician investigating a facility that's got kind of a Dead Space vibe to it, kind of an exploration, kind of a survival thing, branching paths, hidden areas, gear upgrades, tense combat. I don't know, it looks like an interesting idea. And considering that the Little Nightmares developers aren't really combat oriented to have combat, like specific combat, I don't know, it looks pretty cool to me. Honestly, I just really like the vibe of it. It's kind of, I don't know if anyone else is going to agree with me, but it's kind of got that weird old Ghibli vibe to it, with some of the like robot-y, monster-y type things. I don't know, it's weird. It's a next year game, PS5, Xbox Series, PC, etc., etc. Looks cool. And number 2, it's Mortal Shell 2. Mortal Shell was a great Souls-like, if maybe a little bit limited and flawed in certain ways. It was still really good in a lot of other ways. I don't know, it was one of those sort of quirky Souls-likes. It had some weird tinges to it that weren't quite what you'd expect, and I like that it's getting a sequel quite a bit. You got 60 new dungeons. The shell system is returning. I don't know exactly what they're going to do to modify the combat, if anything. I would assume something. But there is also going to be a beta. You can sign up for it soon if you'd like. I have. You can do so too as well at mortalshell.com. And finally, at number 1, it's Resident Evil Requiem, the 9th mainline Resident Evil game. We don't really know a whole lot about what this is, but we do know it takes place in a post-nuclear disaster Raccoon City, which is, I am all about that. You are an FBI agent named Grace Ashcroft. It looks very much like it is continuing in the footsteps of the Resident Evil 2 remake. The first-person Resident Evil stuff, it was great. I am happy they're moving in that direction. We don't have any specific release date information, but it's coming. It looks very, very cool, too. I do have some bonus stuff here for you. These weren't necessarily freshly announced at Summer Games Fest 2025. They're not new, but they are very cool. I think definitely worth at least some hype. Stranger Than Heaven, RGD Studios Noir Time Machine, Ryoga Gotoku, the Like a Dragon / Yakuza people. They officially unveiled Stranger Than Heaven, which was previously something we knew about called Project Century, but it's a 20th century detective story with some survival elements and a narrative that apparently spans decades. And it's also, keep in mind, the Like a Dragon devs, don't forget that. So it's probably going to have some crazy stuff, probably maybe going to have cool combat, I hope. We'll see. Obviously, I'm very interested in that. They're non-Yakuza games, which, I mean, I don't know if you can really consider Judgment and Lost Judgment non-Yakuza games. I like the detective stuff in that, though. I'm sure this is an extension of that, and I think that's cool. Next is Ill, coming to us from Team Clout, a first-person survival horror game with a pretty wild-looking dismemberment system and some crazy monsters. Guess this takes place in a fort that has been overtaken by a mysterious entity. Next is Chrono Odyssey. No, it is not a Chrono Trigger-related piece of media that I am at least aware in any way. It's an MMORPG. I don't know what exactly the nature of those elements are. It is a time travel MMORPG. That's I mean, really what it looks like at the moment. We'll see more as more comes out. They've taken forever showing footage of this game, though. And finally, we've got gameplay from Dying Light: The Beast. Obviously, this is a game that is launching relatively soon, August 22nd specifically. It's looking pretty intense, pretty visceral, honestly pretty fast-paced, which I'm all about. Looks really adrenaline pumping, you know?